The self-proclaimed Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard was served again at last week's town hall meeting. So a few weeks ago, the Super Mayor was served during a town hall meeting.
I'm a private investigator. I've got this envelope that says Super Mayor. Inside I have from the United States District Court, Northern District of Illinois, Tyrone Eisen Jr. to you as both personal and in your role as mayor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you much. You sir.
Anytime, appreciate it. You need to have a clickbait, huh? Alright. I guess anything else? I get sued all the time. Y'all, stop it. What happened?
It's interesting how unfazed she is about being sued constantly. But I suppose it's easy to be nonchalant when you are not the one paying the legal fees to defend against these lawsuits. So why was she served a few weeks ago? And what lawsuit is this? Because like she said, she gets sued all the time. Back in April of this year, Tyrone Eisen Jr. filed a lawsuit against Mayor Tiffany Henyard, Inspector Kim Alston, Keith Freeman, Carmen Carlisle, and the village of Dolton. The lawsuit alleges he, Tyrone Eisen Jr., met with Keith Freeman about purchasing a property located at 1031 Sibley Boulevard to open a business. The zoning for the property was commercial and would have allowed him to open a barbershop. Keith Freeman informed him he would get the permits in a few weeks, and then he would get the business license. In November of 2022, he tried to obtain the business license, but stated he got the runaround from the village of Dolton. He had already started to repair the property based on what he was told by Keith Freeman in regards to obtaining the business license. At some point, he spoke with Inspector Carmen Carlisle, who at that time was the executive assistant to Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Carmen stated that she spoke with Mayor Henyard about this license, and Mayor Henyard informed her she did not want a barbershop. Let's put a pin in the lawsuit for a moment and quickly discuss Carmen Carlisle. As stated in the lawsuit, she was the executive assistant to the super mayor. But with all that has been happening, she's now a whistleblower.
WGN Investigates has learned South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard has lost another key ally. Until recently, Henyard enjoyed near unanimous support on the Thornton Township Board, but now trustee Carmen Carlisle says after trusting Henyard and remaining silent, she will be a whistleblower against Henyard. Carlisle released a statement to WGN that reads in part, "For the past 2 years, Henyard has manipulated employees, vendors, and residents using her position to increase her influence, all while projecting a false image of success funded by the hardworking taxpayers of Thornton Township and the village of Dolton. Henyard shows no accountability or conscience for her actions against employees or taxpayers." Henyard has denied wrongdoing and claims her opponents are out for what she calls clickbait. Tomorrow at 9, tune in for exclusive new reporting on Henyard's spending that she tried to keep secret.
She was the one that also confronted the mayor during one of the meetings in regards to lying about owning the cancer charity.
I know that you're not able to always send things without approval from administration, so I know sometimes you've been advised, just because I emailed you about something else and you sent it to me prior to the question to my answer, and he was supposed to therefore email it to me, and I never got the response to that question. So again, we can't get information directly from the finance department because he's been directed not to provide us with information directly, and I have an email.
So let me make that crystal clear. At the last meeting, I told you guys that KP Key Price is a contact. So if you guys have questions, concerns, or want to sit down with anybody, that is your go-to person. What's any different when it was Key Free? It's no different. So if you guys have questions, please talk to Key Price.
Again,
Key Price will answer any question that you have.
Finance director, so he can't answer finance. We have a finance director for that. If I ask finance questions, that should come from the finance director.
Trust me,
Not Key Price.
you should forward your questions to Key Price. So if you got a question for him, then you can get that. Hold on. I'm telling you right now. We go like this in you. So if you got a question again, for the record, so everybody out like it ain't crystal clear, reach out to Key Price to get your answers. If you have a question, reach out to Key Price. I don't know how many times I gotta say that. Don't come to a meeting acting like no one's giving you anything. When again, you have made 12 to 15 meetings, right? And then show up to not one with staff. Now let's be crystal on that. With Robert Hunt, you made meetings with Key Price, you made meetings with, and every department head in here, and you didn't show up to not one. So stop telling lies, please.
And the question is, you walk around as if you don't do anything, you don't make any decisions. And the first time I ever really questioned supporting this is when you went on this national platform and you said you didn't know anything about a foundation. But you forget that I was in certain rooms when certain things happened. And, you know, again, I always try to be tactful because, again, I don't like going back and forth. I don't like being center of attention. I don't like all this. But I don't like to feel like I'm being lied on. I don't like to feel like, you know, we're not telling the truth. And the reason I don't support you is because you were not honest about that foundation. I was in the room when it started. And then you came to my house after that unannounced and tried to get me to say somebody else started that foundation that did it. And so
all right.
And I'm saying
Okay.
again, so you're trying to say anything about me not supporting for somebody else. I don't support you because of you. I don't support you because, again, you act like you don't make decisions. You make every decision, you know, and maybe you didn't execute it, but I was there. I was your assistant for 2 years. So you sit up here week after week, you sit up here month after month and pretended. Like, and I've been kind to you, I've been patient, and I'm going to continue to be that way, you know, but, you know, for you to get up here and say, I'm not supporting you any other reason because of you, it's wrong, because I don't support you because of you, not for Keith Freeman, not for anybody else. I don't support you because you're not honest. You're not honest.
You're not honest. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna take the bait because I can say so much stuff and just tarnish you right now. But I'm not gonna treat you that way. At the end of the day, the truth will be the truth, and the truth will come out. So you get here and say that people said this, did this. You know what it is. You know exactly who did what. And I hate that people hold your lips like this, and you get up here and you act like a whole different person. It saddens my heart to just see you act the way you're acting right now. But right now, we here on business. If you want to have this little catfight,
So getting back to the lawsuit, Tyrone also stated that the building department told him verbally on or about November 29th, 2022, that based on their communication with the mayor, his business license would be denied. Tyrone also said he did not receive anything in writing denying his business application. He then alleges that Carmen Carlisle told him he should repair the roof. So on November 25th, he also applied for a permit to repair the roof. He was later informed by Kim Alston that the mayor refused to allow him to have a barbershop and that he should put another type of business there. Since he already purchased and started repairing the property, he decided to go back to school and get training for micropigmentation in order to start a different type of business at the location, since the mayor said she did not want a barbershop. So after completing school and creating a new business, he applied for a new business license. He was then informed that he could not have a license because the mayor wanted the property. Therefore, he is suing because he believed he was misled into purchasing the property under false pretense. His argument is that he made a significant financial investment into improving the property based on assurance from the village officials that he would be able to operate his business there. Hence the reason she was served at that town hall meeting. Now moving to the most recent town hall where Tiffany Henyard was served once again. Several weeks ago, Tiffany Henyard's landlord filed a lawsuit against her for non-payment of rent. The landlord has been trying to serve her but has been unsuccessful.
Happening tonight in the south suburbs, the woman who owns a Dolton home that she leased to Mayor Tiffany Henyard has filed eviction papers. She says Henyard has not paid her rent, and now she wants her out. NBC5's Regina Waldrop with the story.
We talked to Tiffany Henyard's landlord, and she says she came to this Thornton Township meeting Tuesday night hoping to get paid what she says she's owed.
we do not have a quorum, so we will not be having a board meeting this evening.
With Thornton Township's board meeting canceled, Janetta Hull will have to find another way to serve an eviction notice to Supervisor Tiffany Henyard, also Dolton's mayor.
So now I have to pay a special process service in order to get them served, which is more fees for me.
Hull says she leased this home to Henyard and her boyfriend in 2021. She says the last payment came in August. She filed eviction papers last month. She says she's now owed $5,000 in back rent plus late fees. She says the couple was a no-show for a Zoom hearing Tuesday morning.
The sheriff's been out here a few times to serve them. For a household that makes, over $350,000 a year, I'm asking for pennies.
Hull says she hasn't been able to gain access to the home or garage to do maintenance.
I gave them 48 hours notice. And then I also texted them about 15 minutes before I got here. So there's a code on the garage, and then there's locks on the front door that were changed.
In a statement, an attorney for Tiffany Henyard told NBC5 no comment at this time. Hull says she regrets renting to the couple.
I don't think the money is worth it. The cash up front is not worth it. I would have rather rented to someone who, is an honest person and goes to work every day and works hard.
This matter heads back to court next Tuesday at the Markham Courthouse. Regina Waldrop, NBC5 News.
Thank you, Regina.
As the landlord mentioned, she would need to hire a private investigator to serve the supermayor. This eventually happened, and Tiffany Henyard was served at the town hall meeting.
Her landlord confirming to WGN News these papers served to Henyard at the start of this meeting are eviction summons and complaints. She told WGN Investigates last week she can't afford for Henyard not to pay.
It's hard to believe that a couple earning over $350,000 is struggling to pay $2,400 a month in rent. It makes you wonder what is really happening with the mayor. Is she financially overextended, or is she just refusing to pay the rent? I was reading some comments, and someone presented the argument that maybe the property has problems, and therefore Tiffany is withholding rent until the property is fixed. However, that argument falls apart when you hear that Tiffany Henyard was a no-show for a Zoom meeting hearing. Because if the property has problems, and that's her reason for withholding rent, why not show up to the Zoom meeting hearing and plead your case? It's going to be interesting to see how this turns out. But after all, this is just clickbait.
Make a U-turn and go downstairs because you come for clickbait.
If you haven't seen it yet, watch the video on screen to see how Tiffany Henyard is using taxpayer money to fund her political campaign.